So disclaimer before we start the video, this video is not supposed to be intended for like, oh, how to vacation in Hawaii during a pandemic. No, that is not what I'm doing. Like, please don't do that. I know a lot of people want to do that, but that's not how like you're supposed to live right now. But this video is intended for like people who already have to go there, or whether they're going there for school, or it's like a family emergency, or you need to go there for work like me. This video is for them, not necessarily how to travel to Hawaii during a pandemic. Like, no, like, please do not do that, especially to an island like that's secluded. Like, one person gets sick, a whole island could get sick, so please don't do this for fun. Like, don't do that. This is just for the people who already have to go there and they're confused about how to get there. So, okay, we're at Walgreens and we're gonna take COVID tests because we have to travel soon. So that'll be exciting. Oh, I am nervous. We're at Walgreens. So yeah, I'll tell you how it goes. Okay, so I wanted to show you how they did the COVID tests at Walgreens. So first, they would hand you, like, they would put a red bin in front of you on a cart, and then they would have like a swab like this, but like longer and like wrapped in like a plastic bag that you peel. And it was like this. It was only one-ended, not double-sided. So it was long. And then you would hold the end, you would hold like the middle of the stick or something, and you'd peel the wrapper, take it out, and then you would stick it up 1 inch up your nose. 1 inch. Don't worry, for me it wasn't uncomfortable at all. It just felt like you were like swabbing your nose, which you're doing. But so you stick it up 1 inch, like up to here, and they'll tell you how far to go. Like, they don't, over there they didn't do it for us, we did it ourselves, so it was a lot more comforting that I just do it myself. But so you go like this, right, and you swipe 5 times, and then you take it out, and then you use the same end. It's no different end, just use the same one. Go in and you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then you take it out, stick it back in the plastic wrap, and then put it in the bin that they handed you it in, and then they take it for testing. So that was how it was. It wasn't uncomfortable, it wasn't painful, it was easy, a lot easier than I thought it would be. To schedule a COVID test appointment, go to the Walgreens or CVS's website and search for the COVID tests. Scroll down and you'll see instructions, and then also follow the instructions 1 through 7. So take a screening survey. After that, you'll choose a location and time. Next, choose which test you want to take. I recommend the Red Dot Rapid Diagnostic Test, since you can get results in less than 24 hours. Just in time for your flight. Okay, so it's the second day of us trying to do stuff for this trip. I have to upload like all my information onto the Safe Travels Hawaii.gov website. So I'm gonna create an account and then upload my COVID test results that are negative, and my picture, and all the flight details that they ask you for. So now it's asking me, after I put in my profile information, they want you to add trip information, like your flight details and all that. Then enter your trip, so that's where you enter all your details, your flight numbers, your reservations, your hotel, your pretty much everything, and then after that, they just do this, and then you upload your documents for COVID right there. Okay, so the really confusing thing with this website that's giving me a lot of trouble is it makes it super hard if you're having connecting flights, because it thinks you're just automatically like going straight to Hawaii. But they want you to put each detail of your trip, because you need a QR code before every flight, even the one before the one you get to the Hawaii airport. So each connecting flight you need to put information for, but when you go onto the website, it just kind of asks you when your arrival date is, and they give you like drop down boxes and where are you traveling to. So they give you only drop down boxes to Hawaii and only a certain amount of flight numbers. So it's just really confusing to do that. And if you're doing flight number and it's only a 3-digit flight number, put 0 in front of it so that it'll be a 4-digit number if it doesn't pop up, because for some reason it doesn't allow you to do 3-digit numbers. So if your flight is like, for instance, like Delta 108, you just put 0108. So that'll do it if it doesn't automatically pop up for you. So that's really confusing, but I'll try. When you get to this page, it'll show you that you can only have Hawaii's trusted testing partners, and then they'll give you a list of all the trusted testing partners, and then you have to make sure that it's 8.5 by 11 inches, and don't upload screenshots on your phone, mobile device, or computer, or photos of it. They actually want it to be a PDF scan, so I'll show you how to do that. And the tests are verified by labs, of course. So when you upload the file, remember that you need to upload these files for each leg of your trip. So if you're going to a connecting flight, your first connecting flight, you have to enter your COVID results and your picture of yourself. And then if you have a second connecting flight, you have to click the blue button again, and you have to upload the same files. So make sure that you upload your COVID test results to both flight details, so that you're verified for both of them, and because they're gonna verify your COVID tests to make sure that they're valid, and you want to make sure that they're valid for both flights. So yeah, that's really important, because I almost forgot to do that. So when you click on upload file, it'll ask you what trip that you want to do it for. I'll show you. Where's my thing? Okay. It'll ask you to select a trip, and they give you all the trips that you uploaded previously in the trips tab, and then you got to make sure that you select the first one, and then you'll end up doing all that, and then you'll choose the file, and then you'll submit that, and then once it's submitted, you go back and you click this button again, and then you upload file, and you select the second trip. So make sure you won't forget that. It's really important. Perfect. They only allow PDF files in 8.5 times 11 in format, which is letter paper. So if you're gonna print your like test results like on your piece of paper or something, you have to scan it from your printer, or you can scan it another way and then put it in letter format. So that will be 8.5 times 11, and then I put a flash drive in, and then you can scan the document through there. So I'm gonna do that. put the COVID results paper you got from your testing site into a printer and then scan it to your USB drive. So after you scan it, you're going to go to settings and then go to the file type and select a PDF file. And then the paper size needs to be letter because that will be like 8.5 by 11 or whatever they wanted the size to be. And I just did that. I don't know what that was, but then you just scan it and then the file is saved to your flash drive. Then upload it to the computer and the website. Also check to see if the COVID results that we uploaded onto the Safety Travel website were verified or not, and they're still pending right now, so we'll see. I'm not sure when they'll be verified, so I'll let you know. Okay, so I just went ahead and did some research on my own, and I was looking at, I pressed the help button on the website that I was already on, and I clicked on basically how to do like the COVID upload results thing, and it shows that if it says verification in process, the test result needs to be read manually by like a human being, and it's either by the airport screener, and I have to travel with the paper that I got from the pharmacy or wherever you go to show a hard copy of it to the airport screener, and or I could just go, or it might verify it later, so it'll take time, so by the test verifier. I don't know, but I'll show you. There's a few different things that could show, and I'll show you guys the different statuses that and what they mean. These are the different statuses. This is on the travel help website, and basically these are the different statuses that they'll show. So if you have if it says outside 72-hour window, that basically means that you took your test too early, and it was outside the 72-hour window that you need to take it. Verification in process, which is what I have, it just basically means test results need to be read manually, either by the airport screener, and yeah. COVID negative is pretty much what you want to see on that. It means the test has been read already, and it's in a good format that the system can read and just verify really quickly. Invalid format, you wouldn't want that. It just is in an invalid format and can't be, I guess, recognized. And then not a testing partner basically means you didn't take your COVID test with the COVID partners that partner with Hawaii. So yeah, just make sure to know all these and take a screenshot maybe. Since it's 24 hours before our flight and my flight, we're gonna take the health questionnaire that they ask, so I'll walk you guys through that. Here are the questions they'll ask you, and basically just health questions really. Okay, so we got our QR code sent to us. They come in the in your email. They come in your email like right when you submit your health questionnaire, and you'll just click on it and you'll scroll down, and all the way at the bottom there's a big QR code, and then I'm just gonna go ahead and print it, all of them, so you'll get a QR code for each flight that you take. So if you have like 2 flights then to get to Hawaii, then you'll have 2 QR codes. Yeah, so I'm gonna print it just to be safe, just in case like the phone shuts down or my phone dies or something. But yeah, just to be safe, I would print out most of the stuff you have and bring along with your print out your COVID results and print out everything on paper just to manually. update you guys on some things that I noticed on the final flights to Hawaii and landing at the airport as well. So the first connecting flight that I went on, it was really good. It wasn't crowded at all. The only thing that I noticed was they didn't, when I showed the QR code, they didn't ask for it. They were just like, oh, you just show that at the Hawaiian airport, we don't need it, only when you get to Hawaii you need to show them, but not here. So I didn't have to show them at all for any of the other flights. So when I got onto the second flight, they didn't ask for it either. They told us before we got onto the second flight, the final flight to Hawaii, they kept telling us to have the QR codes and all the papers ready, but you didn't need it to get on the airplane. So that was kind of weird. But when we got on the airplane, it was super crowded. It was a big airplane, so it fit a lot of people, but there really wasn't any space. It was just one airplane that took you to the island. So if you're concerned about that, yeah, it was pretty crowded. There wasn't really any space between anybody. But when we finally landed, what happened was you get off the aircraft and you stand in this line. All the passengers would stand in the line, and you would show this one guy that you just have a QR code, oh, I have a QR code, and then he'll let you pass through, and then you just stay in the line and you wait for the table of screeners. So I waited for a little bit. It was a long line. So once you got to the table of the airport screeners, they basically asked for your QR code finally. So they just asked for one. It didn't matter what you showed them. You could show them your first one or your second connecting flight or third one, whichever one. It didn't matter. They just asked for one. So just show them whichever one you have with you on hand, or whatever's on your phone first. And for my mom and I, we had to also show them the COVID verification paper that we had because of the problems uploading it to the Safety Travels website. So once we showed them that we had it in paper form and that we were all good and negative, they're like, okay, yeah, that's fine. Just because Walgreens had messed up the stuff, so then it wasn't showing well on the system. So that was the only problem, but they didn't give us a hard time about it. They're just yeah, okay, as long as it's on paper. So then they gave us a paper basically on how to stay safe during COVID and wear your mask and stuff on the island. So we were basically free to go, and once they check your COVID results and it's all good, you don't ever have to check back into the Safety Travels website. But it is a different story if you end up having to quarantine. So if you end up having to quarantine, or you didn't take a COVID test before you get on the flight, so you have to quarantine or something, they will send you to a different table where they'll tell you the details for that. So if you have to quarantine, they'll send you to a different table, and basically what you do is they'll tell you where you're going to be staying at or whatever, but you do have to take the health quiz every day after your flight for the next 14 days to check on your health, to see how you're feeling, and you won't be able to really go anywhere but where you're staying. So that's the only thing with that. But I filmed this video back in December, and I'm not sure if anything's really changed. I mean, some of the islands, now there's no option to pre-quarantine or be exempt. You have to quarantine no matter what now. That's for some of the islands, not all of them. But the Safety Travels website and all that is pretty much still the same. Oh, and before I forget, before we landed, you had to fill out this paper, kind of similar to the one that you filled out like during on the Travels website, where they would tell you like, where's your destination, where are you going, like what's the reason you're here. So they'll give you that in paper form, and they'll also give you like an agricultural form to make sure you're not bringing any harmful fruits or vegetables or animals or anything like that onto the airplane. That isn't allowed in Hawaii. So you have to sign that before and give it to them before you land. So if you don't do that, like, you can't get off the flight. So make sure you give it to them before they land and sign it. And that should be all. Yeah, and that was before you get off the flight. So after you get off the flight, you just do whatever I said, and then you're free to go. You can get in your car. If you have to go quarantine, go quarantine. If you don't, you're free to go. So that's all. Thank you. Aloha and mahalo for watching.